Hello and welcome back to another video diving into the Destiny Grimoire Anthology Volume 2. Hope you're enjoying this deconstruction music here. 1 hour of deconstruction, the Destiny soundtrack. I'm gonna link that below. I featured it in the beginning of a bunch of videos here. I don't mean to take any credit away from them, so thank you for this seamless loop. I will link your video down below. Obviously not the original creator of the deconstruction music, but we appreciate your effort to loop it. So, continuing on here into the Grimoire Anthology, we just reached part 3, Evolution. Not too sure what we have ahead of us here, but we're on to the latter part of the book, and we'll make our way through what looks to be chapter 7. Maybe we'll stop as we get to, chapter 6. So, as usual, I don't really read ahead in these videos. I don't pre-read to find out what we're going to be diving into. We just dive on into it. So what you kind of see, what you see is what you get, really. This is just all part of practice. Trying to get better at doing these types of things, and in the future, we'll do some maybe some better produced ones. But in the meantime, we have this. Part 3, Evolution. Out here, the lonely fall in the company of those bound by the purest need, survival. Find this truth, if not in your heart, in your mind. If not in your mind, then your soul, the deepest part of you that connects to the most basic truths. To live for tomorrow, you have to fight for today. Know this, understand it, live it. Find those like-minded survivors you can look to as kin. Only then can survival be within reach, because to walk the shore unbound is to invite death. Excerpt from C.C. Lagrange's translations of writings and observations from the Tangled Shore, a Fallen text. Chapter 6, Martyrdom. If it was up to me, we would have killed Skolas, but the Queen has plans. Petrovenge. The Prison of Elders, the Reef. Didn't anyone tell you about the Prison of Elders? Weren't you on the strike team that killed the Archon priest, the one who escaped? Okay, I'll tell you about the Prison of Elders. The Awoken will tell you that a long time ago the Queen conquered the House of Wolves. What they won't say, because they are very serious, important people, is that the House of Wolves did a lot of the job for them. After the Queen killed the Wolfkel, the Fallen started competing for the throne. One of the first battles was called the Eos Clash, and I wasn't anywhere near it, but I'm pretty sure I'm not making this up. A Fallen... This is a Cade 6, by the way. A Fallen named Skolas wiped out one of his rivals in the Eos Clash, but the battle cost him so much he got to thinking, if the Reef killed my boss and gave me a chance at the throne, maybe I can use the Reef to kill all my rivals too. Pretty good, right? When they told me I had to be a vanguard, I went to ask some Fallen how I could get out of it, but they just told me to kill all my friends and then myself. Anyway, everyone involved in the Civil War started trying to play their rivals against each other, and the Awoken too. No one wanted to become so strong that they'd be a target. No one wanted to bleed their own forces dry doing someone else's dirty work. Cutthroat politics. And who's the best at cutthroat politics? That's right, Her Majesty, the Queen of the Reef. At the end of the wars, the Queen had played her way into the strongest position, and she had a collection of fallen nobility and servitors she thought might be useful to her. Of course she thought so. She's just used them against each other and won absolute control of the Reef, the Belt, and the House of Wolves. She wasn't about to just toss away her playing pieces. She kept them frozen in her prison, the Prison of Elders, and she gave the keys to that prison to my buddy Varix, a Fallen who showed her loyalty. The Prison of Elders is a really curious thing. It holds creatures of enormous power, not just wolf nobility, all kinds of beasts captured by corsair expeditions or lured in by the Queen. And it holds them well. The Queen, she can do things I don't understand. There's a power behind her, or in her, that values that prison. Cade 6, overheard in a tower lounge. Gift of Skolas, the Queen. For a while, the only lights were the eyes of the witches tending to the cell. The drone of the soul machines echoed through the prison. Gas billowed and ebbed into the shadows. She entered. They scurried to their points around her, the method of their arrangement precise. The Archon priest has been retired, my queen, said the witch to her right. Far from the throne, and audience, she moved without theater, any word of Calyx Prime. We still sense something among the Ananks. This voice came from behind her. She did not turn to acknowledge it. For the span of a brief silence, she moved between the sealed cells of the wolf nobility with her witches in constellation around her. More of your brother's crows have entered the cauldrons of Rhea. The witch directly before her spoke with a dry buzz. The 9 do not approve. She stopped a moment to study her sealed face of a cell. The cloud of her breath mingled with the slow exhalation of cryonics. Send them one of our prizes, something to commemorate our mutual victory. And which of your prisoners would you gift? If she paused to think, it was only for an instant. Send them Skolas. A lovely gesture. She cocked her head as if listening for a frozen heartbeat. And remind them this. The crows are mine. Is that who I think it is? Okay, there's just some interesting artwork here. It looks to be Zur over here. And this, I can't quite make out what this is. It almost looks like a spider. Potentially the spider? It's definitely Zur. You can see his tentacles on his face from here. Is that something of the 9? Is that Skolas? I guess coming out of his cell? I guess that would make the most sense. Okay, yeah, I'm an idiot. Wow. That's Skolas coming out of his cell. Fate of Skolas. The cell cracks open. Skolas, Wolfkel, stumbles out and crashes to his knees. He tries to leap at the creature before him, the shape in the fog, to show it why it should be afraid. But the weight of grief smashes his legs against the cell. The rage upon him breaks him to the floor. He falls on all 4 hands, his mighty armor thundering against itself. His house of wolves is enslaved. His people have been played. And it was his hubris, his would-be cunning that did it. While the other houses fought for their future on Earth, throwing themselves at the great machine, Skolas wasted his people in games of betrayal and ambition. Bitter pride brought a bitter end. If Skolas were a Kel, he would ask his Archon to dock him. Ether hisses in his mask, and it tastes cold, so cold. He looks up at the tiny hooded shape before him. The cell's mist is clearing, he can see. I believe that I am here, the creature says. To Skolas' ears, it has a strange voice, a strange accent. It speaks his language. I have a clear purpose. I cannot explain it. Forgive me. From beneath its hood, tiny fingers of shadow probe the air. Skolas rises up to smash it, to show his strength, because the alternative to violence is waiting for violence to come from a universe that has neither respect nor compassion. But he checks himself. His ambitions have brought him here, to this cell in this strange place. Only it's not so strange, is it? It's the hold of a ketch. The queen, he says to the thing. You work for the queen. The 9 made me aware of my purpose, the creature says. If I'm here, then it is because the queen sent you to the 9, and they wish you sent back. I will do no one else's work. Skolas has been a pawn long enough. A dreg told him once that she would play in a game as long as the game made sense. Nothing makes sense now except the thought of Varric's throat shattering in his fist. Varric's the utterly disloyal. Varric's who should be welded into a ketch's prow atom by atom and left there as a figurehead to burn away. I am comfortable, the creature with the moving face says. A part of me wants to go somewhere warm. Now I will certainly tell you what you have been given. Skolas looks at the shrapnel gun in his hands. Skolas imagines what he would do with it if he could reach Varric's, or the brother of the queen, or the alien queen. Will it save anything they've lost? The world's docked from them? No, it cannot change the past, only the future. Only the chance that his people might one day know themselves as more than pirates and scavengers. He should never have tried to be Kel of wolves. He should have tried to be Kel of everything. Everything wants to kill his people, the machines, and the militants, and the green-eyed hive, the dead soldiers that hoard the great machine and come out crusading to wipe all hope away. The ship will be yours, the creature says. It hunches over itself as if burdened by its own shape. If you speak, you will be heard. I will go now. You are free. He tries to follow it. He fails. Somehow it is gone. He goes up to the throne room and sets his weapon down on the great seat. Skolas, Kel of Kells, goes to the ship's comm and looks for the sign of a servitor, for the way to plot a course. Fallen no more. Fallen 3. Ask them our name. Ask your masters what they call you. Ask the hollow, the hateful, the awoken with alien dreams insisted in them. Ask them our name. Fallen, they name us fallen. Listen to me, Wolfborn. Heed me, whirlwind scattered. I am the ghost of Cybele, the cunning claw of Iris, betrayed, chained, encrypted by the queen, sent back from the darkness to save us all. The days of Kel in house end now. The calendar of slavery and abasement goes to the fire. We are a new calendar. We are an age of beginnings. Each of us is a day. I am the first, Kel of Kells, and I am the last, the Dreg of Dregs. I have conquered and been conquered. I am all of us, and all of us are I. In the shape of my life, I bind up all of us, all of our fury, all of our grief, all the lives we have wasted against each other. Together we speak our new name. Remember the hope that brought us here. Remember the age before the whirlwind, when ether ran free, when we ruled ourselves and our futures as kings. We wanted more than glimmers and glints, and here always remember that we came to the star in hope, and remember that we were denied. Remember the city of the death of children, the city that docks, which claimed for itself the great machine that might have saved us. Remember the city that even now sends its ghouls to murder our primes, starve our ether, and leave our young to die gasping. Curse that city in its name. The curse is just. We gathered to take that city and save ourselves from extinction, saying to each other, we must be a storm, a whirlwind, a darkness. For it is said that only pain may be stolen from the dark, and we can let no more be stolen from us. We gathered to fight against our twilight. King and devil and winter, all of us but us, the wolves. Why? What kept us from the gap? The reef, the queen, the slavers who played us against each other and docked us into subservience. These sly, sterile, unpeople, these mirages with cold minds twinned to their own, these Carabitus butchers, they set us against each other. She played us. She made herself our Kel. We were fools, O children of the whirlwind. We fought each other when we most needed unity. I fought my rivals when I should have fought the queen. But I remember now, my dregs, my captains, my Kel. Each of us is all of us, and I remember we are the people of resilience. I am the Kel of Kells because I want what we have lost. I am the Dreg of Dregs because I remember that a Dreg will grow back what is lost to him. Ask them my name. Ask them with the shock blade and the shrapnel launcher. Ask them with the skiff and the ketch. Ask your masters by what right they master you. You who have been hardened by centuries of flight. You who inherit the whirlwind. Ask the queen for her throne. Ask them our name. Let them answer. You are Skolas, Kel of Kells. You are fallen no more. Okay, I guess that'll be part one of this with a bit of a thing with Skolas. I think that's a good point to end it on. It goes into some more descriptions in the next part here. So, and we get into the hunt for Skolas. It's actually pretty interesting. I'm enjoying reading this. So, if you've tuned into this point, I appreciate you being here with me. I'm still testing out this whole setup here. Probably move it back over here shortly, but I've been enjoying my time with the Grimoire Anthology Volume 2. If you have any feedback, please feel free to leave it down below. I appreciate any and all feedback. So, thank you for watching. And as always, stay safe.